Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Sounds good in the back of the room?
Yes.
Well, welcome to our December chat. So glad that you're here. We have a full program for you, and we even brought some special guests. So we're going to start with an update from Matt, some community updates, some life enrichment updates, and we're going to welcome some guests from the Brightspire MSO office, the development department, and then we also have some really fun videos that we'd like to share with you. I challenge you not to smile when you watch these. It can't be done, it's impossible. And I'll provide an update as well. And as we always do, we will have a question and answer. But I'm going to hand over the mic to Matt, and he's going to get this meeting started for us, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Used to this mic. So, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, because I was here early this month, write it down, let's remember that. We've got all good news to share, no bad news this month. So let's start. Yeah, already getting some applause. That was a theme across the bridge. There's a lot of clapping across the bridge, so we're going to keep that going. Let's start with a moment of silence to get centered and prepare for the chat. All right, thank you very much. I've been working on my moment of chat durations at the recommendation of some residents. So one of the things when I sat down to put this together and sat down with Jordan to go over what we should cover, one of the things that really came to mind was all the things that we've accomplished in the last year. A lot of really exciting things have happened. So I went back through a lot of the pictures that Mary is so great to post on our social media and help me with. And just want to highlight a few. So we started our Chef's Table program. We've only had 2 of these, but we've had a lot of positive feedback. They both have sold out very quickly. So I encourage you to keep your eyes open for those as we continue to do that. And other programs that elevate our dining program, showcase those culinary talents we have. We had our Mardi Gras party. We had a really special, this is probably one of my favorite ones. We had a very special Veterans Day celebration. It really went all day, but the highlight for me, anyway, and I think other people, as I've had some feedback, is we had a private breakfast for our veterans and their families, and we had the halls. Daryl and his team did an excellent job. The halls were lined with these pictures here of our veterans, whether it was pictures of them in active service, some newer pictures, and it was just a really nice event, followed by a series of events throughout the day. Obviously, St. Patrick's Day is always fun. But we pulled off 2 double buffets and double parties, and there was a lot going on that day, so it was worth noting. New Resident Socials, they really ramped up and then kind of culminated with Susie's masterpiece of Resident Socials here, which was the nice to meet you, the pig picking that we had out at the Villa parking lot with amazing weather, kind of right in the middle of a series of bad weather, so it was fortunate. We engaged the community more. And we had our trunk or treat event, which y'all were used to 2 years in a row. However, the weather forced us inside, but we still had a lot of good participation from staff bringing their families. We'd invited some schools, New Garden Friends, and hopefully next year we'll get the weather on our side for that event. But this was great. It was great to see. That is Henshaw Hallway, and you couldn't go down the hallway. You could not go against the flow of traffic. So if you didn't plan to be there long, you shouldn't have came because you could not leave. We had great participation, the best yet, in the Brightspire Olympics. We had a lot of gold, silver, and bronze medals. I like to joke, including my personal favorite is taking the golf trophy from River Landing, and we just got it back with our names engraved on it, so it is forever enshrined. Yeah, forever enshrined. And I hope we're invited back to play next year. After I keep talking trash. And then our 3K, 5K event, which was a great event. Again, kind of a recurring theme here. Weather wasn't on our side for this either, but we still had a blast. And it really just showed how our wellness program is continuing to grow, how we're continuing to put focus on that. And then, Jasmine's joined the team recently and has just really taken the ball and ran with that. And good things are on the horizon for our wellness program. We started back with overnight trips, not necessarily this last year, but they really ramped up more. Mary and Hannah took a group to the Outer Banks, large group, very large group. We had to borrow a bus from our inferior golf partners, but we did borrow their bus and went to the Outer Banks. But again, this was great. Coming out of COVID, we got to restart some of those programs that we've been missing. And then baseball games, our prom event, which was a lot of fun. So for those of you who don't know, this is the inside of Whittier. This is the Whittier Nursing, Social Work, Administrative team. They were deficiency-free from their Center for Medicare and Medicaid survey, which is a huge deal. So if you see these folks or you've had interactions with them, just know you're receiving the best of the best in healthcare. And this is them celebrating, so they're all holding up zeros. So again, that's a huge deal, and they deserve a lot of recognition for that. So if they can hear us, let's share them. As I put it over across the bridge, we got spanked in our first staff versus resident volleyball tournament, but we're training and preparing for next year, or this year, so we'll be coming back at you. And then one of my personal favorites, a lot of people don't know this because it happened on the weekend, kind of under the radar, but we had a resident in skilled care at West who was not able to attend her granddaughter's wedding. And so the granddaughter and her husband actually just moved the wedding to Friends Homes. So we had the wedding on site, and this is some of the photography they shared with us. And it was really cool, really special. Some more good news. All that construction, that pain in the neck that we've lived with for a while, we were recognized by Triad Business Journal as the best, I shouldn't say one of the best, the best project in the hospitality and restaurant category. So when you go to the Wellness Center or you eat at the Hub, just know you're standing in an award-winning building, part of an award-winning project. So that's something to be proud of. Pat yourselves on the back. Most importantly, you all put up with a lot during that time period, and so we thank you for that, because although you didn't go out there and actually physically build the place, you tolerated it and you lived into it, and so thank you for that, and something else to be proud of. Now I'm going to welcome some guests and stop my smack talk a little bit so they don't go back and tell on me. But we have Marisa Ray, who is our Director of Development at BrightSpire, and Carson Spearing, who is the Associate Director of Development, and they're going to come talk to y'all for a little bit and hang out with us some.
My family says I don't need a mic, but I'm going to tell them today that I got to have my very own mic. My name's Marisa Ray, and I'm so pleased to be with you all today. And I love your year in review with the photos. And I'm just so sorry there's not any competitive spirit here at Friends Homes. It just doesn't sound like there's any. So, but no. On a serious note, I work with Carson Spearing, who of course spends most of his time here at Friends Homes with you all. And my main role as Director of Development for BrightSpire is to help grow our BrightSpire Foundation and also help out with things over here at Friends Homes. I was over here a few years ago, a little bit more than I am now, due to our work with the capital campaign that we had, our Bridges to the Future, and you all helped us be very, very successful in that, raising over $1.2 million for your capital campaign, and so that is definitely something to be proud of. So we thank you for that, and we also thank you for your continued support of Friends Homes here in our efforts to help residents with resident financial assistance. To tell you just a little bit about what we're doing with BrightSpire Foundation, I spend a lot of my time working on things that have to do with the BrightSpire communities, just as Carson does here. Working on annual giving efforts. We have an annual appeal in each of our communities, similar to your resident financial assistance campaign here. And so you may be interested to know that BrightSpire last year, through the foundation and through BrightSpire as a whole, for BrightSpire community residents, we were able to help about 85 residents that needed resident financial assistance living at River Landing, at Sandy Ridge, your inferior golf partner, and Scotia Village and Glen Eyre. And so we helped 85 residents through those 3 communities. The need for resident financial assistance within BrightSpire communities this year is about 1.2 million. And so we consider that to be an important part of our work and our ministry, is making sure that each and every resident has exactly what they need. Also spend some of my time, as does Carson, on legacy giving, talking with people who may be interested in making a legacy gift at the end of their lifetime to carry on the mission within the communities. And so that is really an honor and a privilege to work with people who are thinking about their estate planning. We have societies in each of our BrightSpire communities that recognize donors who have made provisions for a future gift in that way. And for the first time this year, we welcomed our Friends of Friends Homes Circle members to join us at the society lunch. And so that was a good time. One other quick thing I want to touch on before I hand the microphone over to Carson. BrightSpire Foundation is also involved in BrightSpire, is also involved in helping with affordable housing for seniors. And we're working along those lines in Raleigh, North Carolina. You may be aware, several years ago, we partnered with our friends at DHIC in Raleigh to completely refurbish 2 towers known as Capitol Towers, located on Six Forks Road in Raleigh. There are nearly 300 units for seniors. Again, affordable housing for seniors of very modest means in Raleigh. We worked to have the 2 towers refurbished, and then we are also providing a service coordinator there, a new position that Capitol Towers did not have in the past. That person helps to address everyday needs that residents have, whether it has to do with transportation, physical therapy, medical care, other types of things like that. And so we're very, very pleased to be involved with that. BrightSpire Foundation raises the funds for that position each year and then matches the funds to provide that position to residents. The second thing that we're working on in Raleigh is known as Milner Commons, and it is also affordable housing for seniors age 55 and up. And Milner Commons is located on Newbern Avenue, if you're familiar with the area, on the former site of Milner Memorial Presbyterian Church. And so there we are building 156 new units, affordable housing for seniors, in 2 large L-shaped buildings. And so that's new construction. We also hope to have a service coordinator position there to help people with their individual needs and to address what they need there. So just wanted to give you a quick update on that. We are just so pleased to be here with you today. Thank you for your support of Friends Homes, and I'm going to let Carson share a little bit more.
Thanks, Marisa. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, great. So as Marisa mentioned, my primary role is here at Friends Homes. And so I do a couple things. One of those is growing our planned giving efforts here at Friends Homes. And that is our Friends of Friends Homes Legacy Circle, like Marisa mentioned. And we have some members in here. And so it was a wonderful lunch with the Collective Society luncheon with the BrightSpire communities. And we were so glad that we could have all of our societies together just for a thank you lunch. I also work with Major Gifts as well, but the main thing I do here at Friends Homes is work on our annual gifts, which is the Resident Financial Assistance Campaign, formerly known as the Annual Giving Campaign. And so many of you in here have contributed to that campaign, so thank you for your support and for your continued generosity. It does make a big difference. As you may know, Friends Homes budgets there to be over $1 million in need every year in resident financial assistance. And so your contributions throughout the year help to go meet that need. And all of those dollars actually stay at Friends Homes. And so and 100% of your gift is tax deductible and goes to help residents who have outlived their financial resources. And so thank you for that. At the moment, we are at $120,000 of our $135,000 goal. And so thank you for that. That is a huge deal and is very significant. And I'm actually going to welcome up our Guilford resident volunteer for this year, Mary Jane Knight, to just say a few quick words.
First of all, I should say thank you to Carson and Marissa, but thank you to all of you for all the gifts you've given, and we have to make it to $135,000. I've lived here for 6 years, and we've done it before, and we can do it again. So I know we can. I got a couple calls from residents asking me if I could help them get their checks to the proper places. And I was more than happy to get their checks to the proper places. So if anyone needs help, please call me. I'll be glad to help get your check to the proper place for our Residents Assistance Fund. So we still have till December 31st, so don't forget us. Thank you.
And those gifts, you can have it taken right out of your monthly bill. And Angela, checks, cash, anything like that, you can talk to Angela Conwell, the executive assistant on the first floor. And so we also have an event coming up. This was at Guilford last year. Many of you attended. It will be at West this year, and that is the Cookies with Santa event. We will have a repeat for our Santa who will come and tell jokes. There will be caroling again and treats, and so we hope that you can join us. There will be a bus taking residents over to West, and it will be in the West living room this Friday at 2 o'clock, and I believe the bus is leaving at 1:45, and so we hope that you can join us. It should be a very nice event. So the last thing is a pretty significant announcement, and many of you have seen this in the paper, but we have some longtime residents here at Guilford, well, Charlie and Mary Ruth, and many of you are familiar with them and are aware that Mary passed just recently. And so we had an event to honor Charlie and Mary recently. They won this year's Lifetime Achievement in Philanthropy Award for the entire Triad region. So this award was given, we nominated them in collaboration with Guilford College, and only one person or one couple can receive this each year. And so Charlie received this award on behalf of both he and Mary. And so they put together a video, Fox 8 actually put together a video for us to honor them. And so we're going to play that now. And thank you for having us today. And we just appreciate us being able to take this time.
They embody the Quaker principle of let your life speak. And that is certainly what they have done with their commitment to share their time, their talent, their treasure.
Charlie and Mary both see a need and address it quietly and humbly.
So over the years, Charlie and Mary have provided real examples for ways that people can be involved in their communities.
They are definitely a dedicated couple, but they're also dedicated in whatever they put their mind to. So whether that's helping their neighbor, helping a friend, helping the larger community with any type of endeavor, when you get Charlie and Mary behind something, good things will happen.
They have consistently done things that make life better for residents, for members, for students. And in the case of Charlie and Mary, Charlie's email address incorporates the word handyman. And Charlie has been from hands-on to tremendous gifts that he and Mary have made to Guilford, to friends' homes.
I remember one time they were on a Friends Disaster Service trip and were under a house teaching some students how to wire. They're liberal arts college students. They don't know which end of a hammer to use. And they recognized that and very gently just teach them how to wire, how to plumb. By the end of the week of the disaster trip, they were wiring and plumbing on their own.
And we asked ourselves, who are the type of people that we'd like to be? And I think time and time again, Charlie and Mary set themselves up in that type of role. We've been able to see their commitment to Guilford College. We've been able to watch their commitment to the broader community. We've been able to see their activity in a much broader world. And I think they've left a tremendous legacy.
We recently just completed a capital campaign here at Friends Homes called Bridges to the Future. Charlie and Mary were instrumental into the overall success of that campaign. One of the biggest aspects of that campaign was two things. We built a bridge that brought the two campuses together. When we think about that, that's really what Charlie and Mary have been doing their entire lives, bringing people together, whether it's on an individual basis or on a larger basis.
What a great video, right? Okay. Bear with me as I flip between a couple slides here and there. I've been told we're in the cloud right now, and that's not a good place to be. So real quick, I'll provide some updates. Thank you, Carson and Marisa, for being here. Please don't tell Tom that I was talking trash about golf. So real quick, just some high-level things. The Wellness Center on the West Campus, the Wellness Center will be closing at 2 p.m. on the 19th. That is for our employee Christmas party. We're trying something different this year. Previously, we've had a little kind of drop-in reception, but we've had some feedback from the team, and we want to make this a special event to show them that they're appreciated, that we just really value what they do. So we will be closing that to have our an evening over there. We'll communicate that a little bit more, but again, thank you for your patience and cooperation as we share this space with you that night. Friends Homes Care Merge. So if you're someone who uses Care Merge, which I was updated on the way out of the West chat, that we're actually right around 60%, maybe. I'm looking at Mary, she probably put you on the spot, but that number's increasing. But if you're someone who uses Care Merge and you log in on January 2nd, you will be logging into the Friends Homes Care Merge page. You will not be logging into the Friends Homes Guilford or the Friends Homes West Care Merge page. You'll be logging into the Friends Homes Care Merge page. So you'll see one calendar. You'll be able to access one directory, one set of announcements, all of those good things. So we've had some feedback about, oh, I wish my friends at West knew that this was going on, or I hate I missed this because I didn't know it wasn't on my Care Merge and that kind of thing. So we are bringing those together. A lot of good things there. The other thing that we've evaluated through this process is how do we make signing up for things easier for you? And so we've ran into a couple things. When we look at the two campus, one community approach, we run into some issues with the sign-up sheets. So sometimes the sign-up sheets from a transportation standpoint may be there's 10 people here and there's 5 people at West, and we need to make sure we get the right size bus for that. Additionally, we have sheets go missing sometimes. We have people who don't quite know how to sign up, or we just get some feedback. So one of the things that we are rolling out in conjunction with this January 2nd date is easier program sign up. So if you see something you like, you'll still get a printed calendar. So if you're not on Care Merge, that's okay. But if you see something you like, there's a couple ways you can sign up. You can sign up on Care Merge, and some people already do that. And if you do that, kudos to you. You were ahead of the curve. We haven't actually made that an official announcement yet, but we have honored those. But you can do that. Additionally, you can contact the receptionist or life enrichment teammate to get signed up for a program. So really trying to make that as easy and seamless as possible, and to make that simple so that we don't have issues where we drop the ball trying to get the right size bus and those kind of things. Got on here connection format, so just a heads up that with this, obviously the calendar will be much larger. There'll be a lot more going on for you to see. The connection, our monthly newsletter, will change a little bit, and that's partly due to this change, and that's partly due to that position that we talked about in October, of communications coordinator. And I know we threw a lot at y'all in October. Some of you got up and left because you were hungry. But that is a position that we've added here. We're actively looking for the right person for that. And that will not only streamline that communication, it'll take a lot off of Life Enrichment's plate. There's a lot of benefits to that, but this is the connection and or the way that we communicate what's going on around here to you is a primary task of that person. Additionally, resident onboarding. So we had a lot of feedback. We were fortunate that we've moved a lot of people to the community recently, and we've heard some feedback. We've heard you. So what we've heard, in addition to new people moving in and people who have been here for a long time, is that we need to reevaluate how we orient people and get people acclimated to the community. This is a really long-winded way to say that instead of waiting until you move in to try to get in front of you and share important stuff, we're going to do it before you move in. So moving forward, people at this point in time, if they're moving to Friends Homes, they have an opportunity every other week. There's a orientation class held, and residents are encouraged, highly encouraged, for the success of your move-in to attend one of those orientations, and we've had a lot of positive feedback about that. Additionally, in that line of thought, the resident handbook is done, that we've been working on for a while. Handbook is done. We're in what I would call the final review process. We're going through cleaning up spelling, grammatical errors, just making any kind of final tweaks if things have changed or, something's, the way we actually do something is not the way that the handbook explained it. We need to adjust. So we're going through those things. And then, again, we'll distribute that. There'll be a couple ways. First and foremost, it will go on CareMerge, so that document will live there for anybody to access if they want it. And then if there's changes, they'll be made in real time on CareMerge. And we will announce and help people who don't have access to that get physical copies so that they can update your binder if you have one and keep one. So quickly, we'll run through some of the programs that are coming your way, and then I will turn the presentation over to Jordan for a little bit. Someone told me we have 18 trips in December, so that's a lot of trips, so a lot to cover, but we are going to see the Nutcracker on the 10th. I hope you'll join us for the showing of It's a Wonderful Life at the Carolina Theater on the 11th. Going to see the Christmas Carol production on the 15th. Billy Graham Library on the 14th. There's a Scandinavian Christmas celebration on the 18th. I don't unfortunately know a lot about that, but it sounds exciting from what the Cliff Notes version I got. Going to Duke Chapel on the 17th for their holiday program. Going to see some beautiful lights at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Going to the Chinese Lantern Festival on the 2nd of January. Going to Children's Vineyards on the 11th. Going to Beth Do Us Part on the 25th. As Carson mentioned, Cookies with Santa. That'll be a really fun event. I do want to give a disclaimer. The jokes are bad. I know they're bad. That's the whole thing. So please come out and laugh at my bad jokes. And then really big event that we're all really excited for that will be taking place here and in the dining room is our Founders Day celebration. So that is a celebration of our 65 years of being an organization and serving people and all the great things that Friends Homes does. 65 years is a long time, and we're really excited to celebrate it here where it all started. And so please come out. More information on that coming, but we're really excited for that. Now I'm going to take a little break and turn it over to Jordan.
Thanks, Matt. Well, hello, everyone. I think that I've pretty much met everybody, but just in case, I'm Jordan Scardino, and I'm the executive director here. Eventually, I get to this point where I don't say that anymore. I think maybe next month will be the first month where I don't introduce myself to you, because by then, we should all know each other. And I've been here now I'm working on my 3rd month, and I've really settled in. And I realized something today, that I've settled in so much that I'm actually dressing like our logo. Did you notice that? And so when you're a walking brand, you know you've made it in the organization. So one of the things that stood out to me when I first joined the community here and I went to the first chat, some residents, and it wasn't just one or two, it was multiple residents, said, you know, you use these names, you call out these people's names on the team, and we don't know who they are. Does that sound familiar? And there's a lot of new faces, there's a lot of new people, there's a lot of working parts, and we'd like to know more about these people and what they look like, you know? So I want to introduce you to Mark Sotelo and Jamie Smith. And Mark and Jamie, if you would come up to the front. We're not going to put them on the spot and have them give a presentation. I just want to introduce you to them. And I want you to see two of our new team members. This is Jamie Smith. She's working on day 3. She's been here for 3 whole days. She's a veteran. She's ready to hit the ground running. And Mark, you've been here in the past. You rejoined our team. You've been here for how many? 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Okay. So Jamie's role is dedicated to our unit turnovers. So all those renovations, when you moved into the apartment, in theory, you received a renovated unit, right? She's going to be in charge of that, making sure that the apartment is in great shape, everything runs the way it's supposed to, all the specifications are in place, the appliances work, and everything was renovated to standard. And that's a big job. You know, we have a goal of 66 move-ins this year alone. And many of those units, if not most, will be renovated before somebody moves in. And if time allows, Jamie will also focus on some other big projects. But for now, while she's getting her feet on the ground, she's going to focus on the unit renovations. So now, when you hear Jamie Smith, project manager, you know who that is. Are you glad? No, everywhere. The question was just Guilford, and no, she's got the whole place too. She's got the keys to the kingdom.
Worldwide.
Yeah, and part of her orientation is we just say go and get lost. And, you know, she's learning Whittier and Fox and Woolman and all the 5,000 corridor, and I don't know them all yet myself. Mark was brought on as our assistant director of maintenance, and I think it's we can be honest that we've had some challenges with responsiveness, maybe and how we've responded, being thorough, being timely with our maintenance department, and we recognize the need. We saw the feedback in the Holleran survey, and we've responded by bringing on Mark, and he works directly with our facilities team. He's getting them organized. He helps to prioritize the Works Hub work orders. Every time you place a work order to have something done, it goes into our system, our computerized system called Works Hub. We prioritize the request, and he assigns it. And he's out in the field with the maintenance crew, making sure that things are happening how they should be happening. So I just want to point out these two new members of our team, and I want you to see, you know, they personify one of the many ways that we are responding to the residents' request for improvement and responsiveness and service delivery. So can we welcome Jamie and Mark? Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. There will be a test after this presentation, and so we just hope you paid attention just now. So some community updates, and some of this applies to this campus and some of it applies to the West Campus, but we think it's all good for you to know. You know, we have a lot of projects going on, and we dedicate capital funds to make those a reality, and those funds are shared between both campuses. So at the West Campus, there is a resident lounge. Anybody familiar with the resident lounge in the West Campus? It's kind of like the residents' own area, you know, and we don't really get too involved, but you know, we were approached with a request to refresh that space. And we formed a resident subcommittee or task force. I like to use the form task force, or focus group would be another name for it. And they're providing us with some feedback. We've entered into a contract with a designer, and we're going to collaborate between management, the designer, and the residents. We're going to seek feedback, and we're going to create a refresh plan for that area. At West, we've also had a clear need for some directional signage and just general exterior signage. They're actually, our installer is working on that now. As we speak, they're installing some signage, and we work with the residents to locate the areas and some of the verbiage that needed to be put in place. And so this is a project that's taken a little bit of time, and we're very pleased to say that the residents will be enjoying that signage very soon. We expect this project to take about 1 to 2 weeks to complete the installs. And we're also going to embark on a journey with the Guilford campus to address some signage needs as well. So that is coming. We have reached out to the vendor, and we will develop a proposal, and these are sort of the steps that you take in solving some of these issues. One of the things I want to mention, though, is, and this is at the urging of some residents, we're observing some speeding, and maybe that, I think it's called a California roll through the stop signs, and just some general safety concerns. And we're going to talk to our staff about this. We believe that staff play a big role in this. There's delivery men, vendors, and there's probably some residents in there too. And so we were asked to bring this up to everybody, and that's what I'm doing now. So we just ask that you use caution when you're driving, use caution when you're walking. Please use the sidewalks. Please observe the signage. And then if you see something that is really egregious, maybe you just see a car just kind of plowing through the neighborhood going way too fast, report it to security. If you can provide a description, security will respond and do their best to address the matter. More project updates. The striping is done. And you know, I'm sure if you were to walk through both campuses, you might find an area that maybe we didn't address. And if that's the case, we just ask that you report it to Mark in our maintenance department. The phone porting. That's an enjoyable experience, isn't it? Should we do it again? No. You know, I've been through that project a few times in the past, and it doesn't matter where it's been, it's disruptive. It really is disruptive, and it's typically fraught with challenges. And for Friends Homes, as we went through it, we had our own challenges. You know, some older buildings with a web of infrastructure, you know, that things just never go quite according to plan. So first of all, I want to thank you for your patience in navigating through this process. I hope that your phone is working how it should be. However, I realize that for some people in this room, that may not be the case. And so, I'm going to ask you, if your phone is still not working and you have not spoken directly to Mark Ford about this, or Bernadette, please contact either one of those folks to report your phone issue. We started with a big list of issues, and that list has shrunk, but we do know that there's still some work to be done. So please, 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 don't report it to a random person. You don't need to report it to your neighbor. If you want to get it fixed, report it to maintenance, and that would be Mark or Bernadette. Our woods trail. How many people have been to the trail in the woods? It's a pretty neat spot. It's one of those best kept secrets, I think. You know, I asked the same question to the residents at West, and very few residents raised their hand. I thought, boy, we got to get the word out. You know, we're making significant progress on that trail. If you've seen it lately, you would be able to attest to that. We put down a product. The treads that we put down will last a very long time. They're made for outdoor usage, and we're really proud of the progress that's been made. We've got a few more weeks to go, and we hope to do some sort of a grand reopening of that space. And most importantly, we just hope that you enjoy it. It really is going to look great. We're going to get it cleaned up a little bit, and we're looking forward to years of enjoyment in that space. At West, we're addressing a number of elevators that are at a point where they need a lot of work. And so we're embarking on a project there. It's very significant. It'll be basically every elevator on the West campus. And that's just me letting you know that we're making progress on some projects throughout. And on Friendly Avenue, we planted a number of plants. Basically, there's two phases to that project. So we planted some plants that we know that will do well at this time of year. And then there's a second phase where when it gets a little bit warmer and the plants are a little bit more mature, we'll add that second group of plantings. And for a while now, this meeting has been called what?
That's Jack.
Exactly. And actually, can we take a moment? I just want you to know that Matt put a lot of time. He puts a lot of time into these presentations. He does them all. All that information, all the images, all the planning. He's really invested a lot of time and effort into this, and I think he does a great job. Can we let him know that he does a great job? So, as you know, we've done some restructuring. We've created some restructuring plans, and eventually Matt will be dedicating his time to the West Campus. And at this campus, we will welcome a new associate director. We haven't identified that person yet, but we've had some very successful interviews. And so I was thinking about this, and I thought, you know, we probably can't call this Matt's Chats forever, right? We need a new name. And the name needs to encompass everything that we hope to accomplish, and it needs to be inclusive of myself and the future associate director. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to change the name of this meeting. It will be called the Monthly Town Hall Meeting. Okay, and I just wanted you to know this. When you see it on your calendar, you'll know what that is. And so we're going to start that in January. And one of the other things I want to do at this meeting is I want to incorporate more of the managers, more of the management team. Again, because we've heard from you that we want to see you more. We want to see the management team more. We want more availability. We want to know who is running these departments, and we want to hear from those managers about their departments. So in addition to the community update from Matt and I and the associate director with lots of helpful information, we're going to welcome managers to speak about their department and shed some light on what they're working on and what to look forward to, upcoming events. You know, we'll have food and beverage here. Daryl will be here. Mark will be here. Maybe not everybody every single month, maybe just a few from each department, you know, on a rotating basis or based off of projects that are coming up that you need to know about. But we want to expose more of the management team to our residents and give them an opportunity to hear directly from the folks that are making it happen. So how does that sound?
Good.
Are we on the right track with that?
Yeah.
Great. My goal is to get to this point where you don't say, who's that?
Yeah.
You know, instead, when you have a concern or a question, you know exactly who to turn to. And this will be one step towards that goal. Oh, how many people know Leela May? Everybody knows Leela May. We have a wonderful video. I don't know if you've seen this before. I hope you have. But you know, we wanted to bring to you a very special video that highlights Leela's years of service. I challenge you not to smile throughout this.
I'm Leela May Cummings, and I've lived in the Gifford College area all my life, and I'm a Friends Home Guilford, and I live in the tallest building in the 6th floor, and I have a beautiful view, and I have the sunsets have been so pretty. I really enjoy being up here. Well, I was born March 27th, 1925. I'm 98 years old and 98 and a half. My daddy was a farmer. The land was inherited from my grandfather. Growing up on the farm, I can't ever remember when I didn't have a job to do. I had to carry in wood and feed the chickens, and so I try to keep busy. Well, it's just me. I mean, I think that's life. I really feel that, and I want to serve the Lord and do right. That's the secret of living, is to keep busy. You okay, Leela? You good? You good? Good. Okay. We have a pool here. I feel better when I am exercising. I've always loved the water. It's a refreshing feeling. Well, I guess the most favorite activity is packing boxes. I put 10 on the table. I'll just go from one box to another and put the item in the shoe boxes. I always love dolls. This is so squeezable, just like a little girl can just squeeze it like this and love the baby. crazy about dogs, and when I was young, I really liked them, and I still like them. I just think about the little girls and boys, and I just love to see their faces. When I was growing up, we got one gift at Christmas time, but I didn't get a lot of gifts, and I can just imagine a little child. And I just said, I'd like to have that when I was little. This is something I never was very good at. I'm not sure how you're supposed to do it. I guess like that. Oh, I might take this myself.
Okay.
When I pack a shoebox, I think I'm doing something worthwhile. And my one desire is, Lord, just let me work up till the time I go.
Hi, I'm William Beck, and I'm the worship pastor here at Cornerstone Baptist Church in Greensboro. I'm the delivery guy. She gives us a call in about October and invites us to come pick up the boxes that she's been preparing all year long. By the time we get there, get them picked up and delivered to the church, she's already started on next year's boxes.
The thing of it is, I love people, and I want them to love me and not think I'm an old grouch. Definitely not an old grouch.
Lily Mae packed 861 boxes this year. It really challenges our church body to step up to the plate and do Operation Christmas Child boxes ourselves. Lily Mae's 98 years old. She's never been married, and she does all of this work on her own. To realize that Lily Mae has been doing this for a number of years, and to realize the thousands of children that's had impact with the gospel, with what she spread, is just unbelievable.
When people see my shoeboxes, I hope is, well, here this old woman, 98 years old, can do something. Maybe I could do one shoebox, and then they find out the joy in themselves. Shoeboxes, to me, it's a joy to do them.
What an awesome video, right? That's great. That's great. Showed that video to my wife and she cried. So, that's always a good judge of how touching the moment is. And so I don't see Leela here today, but let her know how great her video was when you see her, because that's awesome. 800 shoeboxes. All right. So we wanted to end on that note, and then give you an opportunity to ask some questions, and hopefully we got a great answer for you. Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry. I had my fingers crossed to remember it, and then I forgot. Need to find a better way. The crop walk. Nancy, I don't know if you know this yet. Erwin flagged me down on my way out. I hope you do. Don't want to steal your thunder. Third year in a row, we are the #1 team in our crop walk. So, kudos. What is it? Just over $12,000?
$12,565, I believe.
$12,565, which is great. So, again, thank y'all for the participation, and hope we'll go for 4 next year. Any questions? Anybody got any questions? Yes, Claire.
What's the update for the beauty shop?
So, are we expecting an update for the beauty shop?
Okay.
We're still working through some things. We've got some time put in with their regional director, PS Salon's regional director, and we're really working to hear those concerns. So if you have those concerns, if you go and have a bad experience, have some concerns you want to share them with me, share them with Susie. If you're in assisted living, share them with Mill Hendricks, and we're working to get a recurring call with them until we can iron out some of those issues.
It's just a matter how do you get in touch with them to make an appointment? I tried calling the number and I haven't received it.
Okay. Go see Susie when we wrap up here, and we'll make sure we get you on the books. We'll shoot them an email and figure out why we're having difficulty with that. The question was, how do you make an appointment at the beauty shop? If anybody's having those issues, let us know. Let the resident services coordinator know, and we'll figure out why we're having those difficulties. I'd love not to talk about the beauty shop anymore.
How are you coming on selling your house?
The question of the hour.
Well, good so far. The house is under contract as of Saturday, but there's a contingent. Yeah, we can clap that. That would be a huge burden for me. There is a contingency on the contract that they have to sell their home first. But a contract is a contract, right? That's a good thing, and it's one step closer towards settling down in the area. So I've been having a good time exploring, and I get my wife on the phone and I kind of show her as I walk through, and you know, we're very excited to get to that point of settling down. And thank you. You know, a lot of people have asked; they've been very interested. I know a lot of people are praying for us and genuinely concerned and interested. So I'll keep you updated as time goes by. Yes, sir. Microphone's coming to you.
Do you have any idea when you're going to have the assistant director for here hired?
Well, no, I don't. I don't have an idea other than we have had some very productive interviews, and we have some very talented candidates, and we are at a point where we will be inviting somebody on site. We don't have the date yet, but I think we're in a good place right now. You know, we're blessed to have some good candidates. You know, I'd like to have them here yesterday, but you know, with the holidays coming too, you know, I would say it'll be, you know, probably at least another month or so before they come on board. Every candidate that we've spoken to is currently employed. You know, and we believe strongly that it's important that whoever we hire, if they are employed, that they leave on the right note as well. And so that's typically a 30-day notice, and then typically a week or so for them to decompress from their former job and then start fresh with us. So that's why I say, you know, it could be a month or so before somebody comes on board.
Does anyone know how long we're going to continue with the weekly buffets?
I think you're sitting right next to her.
Weekly buffets.
I've heard a lot of people say they're tired of them.
Yeah, we've heard that too.
And when you go down there, if you happen to go, there's not very many people down there.
Yeah, we've heard that. I don't know, Judy, if you have a definitive timeline, I know it is stopping or decreasing in frequency.
When the current menu runs its cycle, those buffets will run out. And they're talking about maybe once a month have something special. So yes, they've gotten the word, but they have the menus and they've ordered food, and so they have to run through their cycle.
Yeah, we don't want to be wasteful. Yeah. But we have heard you. If you don't hear anything else, just know that we have heard you.
Yeah, and I want to thank the Food Service Committee for bringing that feedback to our attention as well and working with our food and beverage department. We take your feedback very seriously, and we ask that you continue to provide that feedback to the Food Service Committee, because our goal is that, you know, your comments go to that committee distills those comments into trends, and then we analyze and we work on those trends together as a cohesive group, both management and residents. So thank you for that, and that's how we ended up making this change, is through that feedback, so we really appreciate it.
Mary?
I may have missed this, but I would like to know exactly what this executive director, Matt is at West, we know, and we know what he's been doing. What is this person going to do here at Guilford?
Well, everything that Matt has been doing, and keep in mind, he's been doing it between 2 communities. That's a lot. Look at the meetings alone. The meetings alone, there's 2 of every one of them. And Matt has been going to every single one of them. And many, if not most of these departments have been reporting to him. Honestly, that's not very fair to Matt. And I think it's something where we saw in the feedback in Holleran that you'd like more availability, more presence, and more support. And so what we're doing is we're allowing Matt to focus on the West Campus and all of the community's needs, and generally running the day-to-day that occurs at that community, and being very resident-focused, service-focused, very present, available, and involved at the West Campus. And we expect the same thing for somebody who is dedicated solely to this campus. And so we're not spreading one leader thin across both campuses. We're allowing them to dedicate all of their efforts to you here. We think that's a winning strategy for responsiveness, for restoration of trust, and for helping people who are in need, and then also directing the different leaders and managers in a way that is specific to this campus.
Spectrum.
I just heard the word spectrum.
Yeah, I've not heard it say dismiss.
Is that I don't know if that is that a dirty word here, or is that a?
No. The other one is.
What about spectrum would you like to know?
Is there any update on the television contract?
Well, yes and no. So we recognize that there is a significant concern about TV service, particularly in the Ridgecrest, the cottages, and I suspect that that's what you're referring to. I think we're in a good place for the most part with these buildings here. Yeah. But we are researching some options. We believe that we may have an option, but we're working our way through some pretty serious infrastructure logistics. We have to iron those out before we arrive on a final solution. So we recognize the concerns, and believe me, nobody wants this issue to be resolved more than us, on your behalf, of course. But we're also dedicating a lot of time into this solution. So we hope to have a solution soon. You will be the first ones to know it once we decide on that, and we are actively working on this matter. We've had calls as recently as a couple days ago on this. There's a lot of back and forth behind the scenes. Contracts are involved, both existing and future, and then again, infrastructure considerations. And then of course there's also budget, but that's the least of our worries. We want to make sure that you're happy and satisfied with the service. Yes? There's a microphone coming.
Good idea. So the notice I got from Spectrum the last couple of weeks to pay the bill to Spectrum. I thought that was supposed to be over.
Don't pay anything. Bring that to one of us.
Well, my computer doesn't work either, so.
Pay that bill, but
I just want to know what to do.
Yeah, don't pay. We need to take a look at that. There are a few phone-related things that they're sending out, kind of automatically triggered end of service notifications and those kind of things, but you shouldn't be getting a bill unless you've entered into an agreement for like a DVR, additional set-top boxes, those kind of things. You would pay for those, but you should.
We'd like to be able to help you with that, and so if you can find that bill and bring it to us, we'll take a look and see what we can do to help you. Okay? It could be myself, it could be Matt. Why don't we start there? Okay? Is that it?
Yeah.
What's going well? Everything. Who's planning on joining us for Founders Day? I hope everybody. We have a nice program planned for you. We have some special guest speakers. I heard the food and beverage is going to be really nice. We have some nice live music. And so, let me just ask you, how many people know what Founders Day is? Okay, that's good. That's good. That's the first step. Okay, well, we hope to see you there. It's going to be a nice program, and we're really looking forward to it. And I guess that's a wrap. We really appreciate you coming out. We appreciate your questions. And if we can help in any way.
Can we say thank you for coming to the last Matt Chat?
Yeah.
See you at the town hall.
Yeah.